What's going on, guys? Man, I'm telling you, the weather here has been really crappy. I think I'm coming down with something. It's been cold, damp, rainy. I think out of the past 18 weekends, it has rained 13 weekends, and this coming up weekend, it's going to be raining again. I want to show you guys something pretty cool that I got when I was in New Mexico. I want to share this with you. So we were invited, a bunch of us were invited to New Mexico. If you guys didn't check out those videos yet, check them out. But we were invited to New Mexico by the CEO from Harley-Davidson, Jochen Zeitz. And when we were there, I got this nice letter from Jochen Zeitz, the CEO, and also this book, Ride Free, a memoir, Willie G. Davidson. And check this out, guys. Willie G. himself signed it. How cool is that, huh? So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was an amazing experience. If you guys want to kind of know about the trip and stuff like that, where we went exactly and stuff, let me know. I'll make a video about it. I got Mad Max out here today. And in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the infamous, the dreaded can't find neutral, right? So a lot of us talk about that. Am I right? Am I right? A lot of us. Not only me, but when I'm at rallies talking to all you guys, talking to all the folks, you guys message me, email me, a lot, just everybody. Even like, you know, you do a group ride or just go take a ride with the guys. Somebody is always complaining about can't finding neutral on their Harley-Davidson. But I'm going to tell you, and let me know if you guys agree with this. I've been riding it for about 34 years. I am 51 years old, and I feel like I'm in my 20s. I'm serious. You got to stay in shape and eat right. Through those past 34 years of riding, I don't know, I think this is like either the 13th or the 14th Harley-Davidson that I've owned. I've owned a lot of Harley-Davidsons. So the majority of the Harley-Davidsons that I've had, probably 90% of them were brand new, off the showroom floor, maybe 95%, and they were in their stock fashion. Now this is where I want your guys' input. Let me know down in the comments below if I'm talking crap or not, but this is my opinion, and I stand by it. Let me know what you guys think. So this is it, guys. Every single time I have bought a Harley-Davidson brand new in its stock fashion, I have never had a problem finding neutral. Am I right on that? I've never had a problem finding neutral. These things have been around. Harley's been doing this. Excuse me, guys. Harley's been doing this for a long time. This bike in its stock form is perfectly engineered. It really is. They last a long time. You get a lot of miles on them. They don't overheat. You can find neutral. It's a good bike. It's a well-engineered bike. No matter how you look at it, that's just the truth in its stock form. So now, obviously, if you're a knucklehead like me, you need more power. And not to say you do, just I want more power. But if you're that type of person like me and you want more power, well, then obviously you're going to go with the 128 stage 4 cam, exhaust, mid controls, suspension, tune, dyno tune, you name it, clutch, heavy duty clutch, all of that, right? So that's when the problems happen. Because like I said, I have never had, to this date, and not only my brand new bikes, we get invited to a lot of these Harley events and we're riding brand new stock bikes. I've never had an issue. Never. Even like the brand new CVO, we were on the Street Glide and the Road Glide doing the commercial out in California. Man, neutral is like butter. The transmission's like butter. It really is. The clutch is like butter. Everything's smooth and silky and working as it should be. Or when we went out to Arizona or Milwaukee and they gave us some motorcycles to ride. Any bike that I rode in its stock fashion had never had an issue finding neutral. Okay, let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Okay, I'd really like to know. But then, like I just said, once we start doing chain drive and all this, once we start doing all this work to our bikes, it messes with the clutch. And that's where the problem is. It's not your transmission. You're having a problem finding neutral because the clutch is not disengaging properly, or fully, I should say. So let me give you an example. Even, I'll go back to Silverback. 2020 hydraulically actuated clutch, okay? This is a 2022, and this clutch is a cable operated clutch. So two different animals. They started going back to the cable clutch in 2022. So on Silverback, I had 152 horsepower, 153 foot-pounds of torque. I had the T-Man Performance 130 motor in it. You could go back, I have a playlist, you could check out all those videos, the entire build and everything. Beautiful bike, hydraulic clutch. But right after I did the engine work, immediately I started having problems finding neutral. And that's because it started wearing on the stock clutch. And then we switched over to another high performance clutch. I even had problems with that clutch because that clutch setup couldn't handle the power, couldn't handle 152 horsepower. So this is what happens. What I'm noticing is as soon as you touch the stock clutch and you go to a different clutch system, for some reason, whether the whole clutch pack is just too wide, whatever it is, or it heats up, what happens is anytime you're depressing that clutch lever and trying to find neutral, it is not disengaging the clutch properly. That is the only thing that I can see being the culprit for not finding neutral. And then when I had Silverback, the two clutch setups that I had on the bike didn't work. I had to go to something more heavy duty. And that's when I was introduced to, in my opinion, and a lot of other people's opinion, a lot of the stunt guys, their bikes have the Evolution Performance Industries clutch system. That's what I have in this bike. That's what I finally put in Silverback. Then I never had a problem because the whole clutch basket with the ring gear is removed and replaced, and the whole clutch pack, the whole unit is an Evolution Industries clutch unit, and that's what you put into the bike. After I installed that, I didn't have a problem finding neutral on Silverback. So on this bike, we went straight to the Evolution Industries clutch system, and I'm telling you, I do not have a problem finding neutral. I don't. Is it the same as a stock bike? No. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not. Stock bike, you could find neutral easily, not a problem. Is it difficult on my bike now with the Evolution Industries clutch? No, it's not. But it's still not the same as a stock bike. It's just not. But yes, did I have a problem on my previous bike, Silverback? I used to have a big problem finding neutral. And I thought it was the fluids, which it can be. If you're using too thick of a fluid, it can be a problem. You need to use the correct fluid. I do run the thicker fluid, the Amsoil heavyweight gear fluid in the transmission, but it is not recommended in the primary because this is a wet clutch system. Those clutches actually are dangling, are actually in that fluid. And if the fluid is too thick, even Evolution Industries recommend one particular fluid, which is a non-synthetic fluid. You cannot use a synthetic fluid in this clutch pack because what happens is the synthetic fluid is actually too slippery. And then what happens is you get clutch slip, and then the clutches heat up and start expanding, and then they also do not disengage properly when the clutch lever is depressed, and then you just smoke your clutches. But this is the thing on a hydraulic actuated clutch. There is no adjustment in there. There's no adjustment. There is actually zero adjustment, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. There's zero adjustment on a hydraulic actuated clutch. That's why I do prefer the cable actuated clutch. Another problem you could be having is you could have potentially some air pockets in your hydraulic line. That does happen. I've seen that. Not on my bike, but I did see that happen and I heard about it. So you might have to bleed the system. Also another problem in there, there's a actuator, there's a hydraulic actuator that actually, when you depress the clutch lever on a hydraulically actuated clutch, then that actuator actually pushes the main plate off of that clutch pack and obviously opens up that clutch pack, so this way it disengages. When that clutch is not disengaged, you will never find neutral. I'm telling you, you will never, ever, ever find neutral. So that is like definitely the culprit. So you guys are gonna have to start looking into that situation. It's not your transmission. It's definitely not your transmission. It's because the clutches are not disengaging fully. And now, like on this one, this is a cable actuated clutch. So if I come to the other side of the bike, also, if you have, make sure your levers are adjusted properly. I have the Flow Motorsport levers, so I could adjust it as far as like when I want it to start engaging. Also in here, I don't want to pull that sleeve down, but if you pull this up and pull this sleeve down, I replaced this plastic piece. If you guys are aware what's in there, there's like a little plastic sleeve, and I don't know the exact terminology of that part, but you guys should replace it, because what happens is it cracks. And if you do have a heavy duty clutch like I do, and I have three red springs, 3 blue springs to withstand the 142 horsepower, because the springs are so heavy, this clutch is really hard to pull in. Then what happens is over here, there's a lot of tension on that plastic piece that holds the cable together. And what happens is that cracks, and then if that cracks, you're shit out of luck. You're probably gonna be towing the bike, because you can't disengage the clutch. If it's in neutral, you could drop it down into a gear, but you're never gonna be able to ride the bike home. So Get Lowered installed, actually, there's like a steel, instead of that plastic piece, it's a steel piece. And now I have no worries about cracking it. So definitely do that. I'm gonna be at Get Lowered this Friday, actually doing the suspension. They're changing out the springs and the tires. I'm gonna go to the Metzler Cruise Techs. I'll actually have Mike at Get Lowered show us the piece. So this way you guys, so stay tuned for that video. There is an adjustment here, but I'm not gonna show you guys how to do that. There's a lot of videos about it. There's an adjustment here on the clutch. If you have a cable actuated clutch, and on the lever. And there's also an adjustment on the clutch here. If you have the cable actuated clutch, you have to take off the derby cover, and then again, I'm not going to show you guys how to do it, but there is a lot of videos about it. You got to take an Allen key, back it off, and then like half a turn, I forgot, something like that, to make sure that that clutch is not too tight. Again, if you put it too tight, if you adjust the clutch too tight, it won't disengage. So it has to be done properly. But I do not have a problem finding neutral on my bike. Not at all. But again, it's never, once you start messing with stuff on the bike, it's never gonna be as silky smooth as it would be on a stock Harley Davidson. Again, if you can't find neutral, if you have a hydraulically actuated clutch, make sure you have, maybe you might have some air in the hydraulic line, or that actuator might not be working, or your clutch pack potentially might be fried. So take a look at that, because that might be an issue. You might have a clutch problem. If you have the cable actuated clutch, make sure the clutch is adjusted properly. And if that is adjusted properly, again, check your clutch. Now, if you do have big power, maybe I'm talking over 120 horsepower, and you ride the crap out of your bike, make sure you get a good clutch. I definitely strongly recommend the Evolution Industries. That's the only thing I've seen that worked for me. I wouldn't use anything else on the bike. If you're riding it really gently, your motorcycle, you could possibly get away with maybe just get the clutch pack, you know, different manufacturer. But I would just, if you got big power, just go to that. Let me know if this video helped, but that's what I've seen with all my bikes. That is like the culprit, the clutch, and definitely no problems with a stock bike. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know maybe if I missed something, whatever. But if you check out all of those items, it might help you. Make sure you're using the proper primary fluid, because it not only lubricates, you know, like your compensator and the chain and all of that, it's a wet clutch system, and those clutches are lying in that fluid, and that's what cools everything. So, you know, check that out. Make sure you're using the proper fluid. Hopefully this video helped. Love you guys. We'll see you guys later. And I'll definitely bring you that piece when I'm by Mike. He'll show us exactly what that piece is, because that's another thing I highly recommend, because I was just talking to a guy a couple months ago saying that he was stranded because that plastic yellow piece that actually holds the two portions of the clutch cable together cracked, snapped, and it was kind of done for him. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Peace out.